Alright, you done seen all my other videos, and this is about Gentiles. I'm trying to make a point. God do not love everybody. God made a covenant, and that covenant was for people that he chose over everybody in the world. Gentiles, these are names that nobody else in the Bible get but a Gentile. And it's more. This don't sound, if I had a girlfriend or I had a cousin or a good friend, these are names I wouldn't call them if they thought that I loved them. I wouldn't say these names. Okay? And all you have to do is go here. This is where I do all my studying at. All right? And you see, that's where I go. And you can get the Standard Bible or you can get the old fashioned, you know how the words be all weird. You get that. And I don't use no other Bible. I don't use the NIV. I don't use the ES whatever V. I don't. It's strictly this or this. King James. Now what I would do, like I would go here, and in here, right here, I would type in something that I want to find. Like uh, if I say Gentile, I put Gentile in. Well, if I say Gentile destroyed, and then I click here. Now, this is pretty much all the scriptures in the Bible about Gentiles being destroyed or something on Gentiles as you see is highlighted yellow. And then when you come down here, you see there's even more. So it says in Galatians 2 and 18, for if I build again the things which I destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. Acts 22 and 21. And he said unto thee, depart, for I will send thee far hence unto the Gentiles. Okay, then I go back to when I had his people. When you see his people, you'll notice this is not talking about Gentiles. This is talking about only the people God chose. And these people is who you should pay attention to. Okay? Let me see if now these people are African Americans. They came along a lot after the flood. There was no nations, there was no nothing but Adam and Eve, and that would be in the Middle East. Let me go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy. Then I say I want 28. And then the verse, I want 68. And this here is what happened to God's people. They was put on ships for disobeying God's laws. And watch my other videos, you hear me talk about this. And the funny thing about it, from 1 all the way to verse 15, he's talking so sweet to us. How I would give you the world, baby. Almost sound like a pimp talking to his women. He's talking like a husband to his wife. How he would just love us, and we would inherit the earth and all of this and whatever. And we got beside ourselves. So after verse 15, let's start 16 all the way down to 68. It started talking about, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city." Now the whole conversation had changed. Everything here will be what you find the description of any slave book. The way that I spake. When you go down here, he say, "Whereof I spake unto thee." That's talking about all these scriptures I just showed you from 16, verse 16, all the way down to 68. I spake. He's describing the suffering of the black slaves. How do I know that? Because nobody else had iron on their neck. Nobody else was scattered among all people. This is Deuteronomy 28:64. "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth unto the other, and there thou shalt serve another gods." That means whatever whites gave us, or whatever Christian belief, or whatever, that's what we end up doing. "Which neither thou nor thy fathers have even known." So you'd be serving something we didn't even know nothing about, not even our grandparents. "Even wood and stone." Those talking about crosses. You don't even suppose to see a cross. A cross is an abomination to God. You don't serve things like that. It's not living. God wants to be your living God, not something you created and you serve, or you use it as a representative of God. No, God wants you serving him only, not a representative. You read all of this and you will understand this is the way God said that the people that he chose will suffer. This is strictly the black slaves, not the Holocaust. There's not a mention of the Holocaust. And none of this that you see here was done to any Holocaust victim. But it was done to all black slaves. It wasn't even done to Africans. Africans never got took away from home. Africans are home. They got mistreated just like whites got mistreated, just like anybody else got mistreated by whites. Whites did all the mistreating. But they did not get mistreated by the way the blacks did that became slaves. People that got mistreated. Let's go to Isaiah, if I can do it before this thing run out. Let's go to Isaiah 11. I'm going to tell you where God sent all his people and where they at right now. 11 and 11. This is where God sent all the people that he had enslaved all over the world. "And it shall come to pass that in that day the Lord shall set his hand, and again for the second time recover the remnant of his people." They're going to be all these different places he's going to bring them out of. And they all are islands of the sea. They all over. They are black slaves' relatives. They all over the earth. And they will be gathered back. Nobody else can be that but the blacks, slaves.